guys, welcome back to my channel. This is your girl Dudal, nature lover. Another day, another video after that show. And today I'm really happy and I'm glad that I'm having an amazing guest. He is a relationship coach, and I want to give him a chance to introduce himself as we start the show. Karibu sana.
Thank you.
I want to give you this chance to introduce yourself.
All right. Hi, guys. I'm Benjamin Zulu. I'm a counseling psychologist and a life coach. Yeah. Glad to be here.
That's amazing. Karibu sana after that show,
Asante.
where we discuss everything that involves 30 plus, especially singles. And I would like to hear from you. When you hear about 30 plus singles, what do you think?
Men or women?
Both.
All right. In fact, that figure 30 has opposite connotations for both genders. I suggest, I encourage men to wait until they are 30. I really encourage to wait until they are 30.
You give us the reasons.
For women, there's a social connotation that they are best before 30. So, yani yako fresh, ameiva, yako hot. Wakati yako 20 something, 26, 28 hapo. So that's a social connotation. But my advice to women is that plan your journey depending on where you're coming from and where you're going.
Okay.
If there's a gap in your childhood, if you grew up with a lot of trauma, maybe problems, a gap in your life, take time to fill it. Take time to reorganize. In case you grew up with an abusive parent, a narcissistic father, do not rush to start your own family because those gaps will affect you. So for women, I tell them, don't think of any deadline. Get in when you're ready.
You know, at some point in my life, I was like, I wish I got married earlier, but then I realized, like, when I was my 20s, I had an issue of low self-esteem. Now, if I got married at that moment, right now, I think the husband could be like, I married someone different, you're now someone totally different, because I'm a different person from the one I used to be. So I get what you're saying.
And I encourage ladies, I tell them, those who marry at 23 are divorcing by 33.
Most of them.
I tell you that, and some force it, but it's really a living hell. Not all of them, but the general trend. There's a science to which the recommended minimum age that I tell ladies is 26, minimum. Don't date at 22, don't date at 23, don't date at 24. Instead, because your prefrontal cortex, that frontal lobe, is maturing and finishes growing at around 25. Sometimes 26, sometimes 24, but the average is 25. Frontal lobe controls feeling and reasoning. Before it stabilizes, you think emotionally, you reason emotionally, you project your wishes on people. You begin to think people are like you, they're honest like you. You have a narcissistic view of life, self-absorbed view of life, and you think everybody means well, just like you. That's how you get into traps. and you fall easily into traps. So what I usually encourage is wait until minimum 26. By then, you'll be able to see things for what they are. But again, years alone don't bring maturity. Yeah. Although your brain is following its growth schedule, its growth curve, you should also be learning. You should be teaching yourself by 21, 22, 23, 24, learning things that you're supposed to obey and respect while you're growing, so that you prepare for career, you prepare the grounds for a good mastery, looking for your passion. Mastery is the high point of human performance. Those people who are sensational in this world, the footballers, the media people, the speakers, any teacher, any admin, any politician who is sensational because they're in their passion. Yeah. But you see, passion is not preached in schools. Schools are prepared for career. Which job is marketable? Is it law? Is it teaching? Is it better to be a nurse or a doctor? We discuss outward things. Somebody said those who look outside dream, but those who look inside awake. Better to turn the thermometer inside and check, where do I belong? Look at our own Churchill. He invented an industry, comedy. He said he was dreaming, seeing people laughing. He just wanted to see Kenya laughing. So those flashes of wishes and imagination, sometimes they're coming from what God deposited in you when you were being born. Again, sometimes your passion is born by problems and pain. Your experiences can give you a mission in life.
Yeah.
You go through a pain and you set out to solve it. I want to solve this one. Or you can grow lacking love and you just want to give love.
Yeah.
Or you can be so well treated by your parents, although this is rare, but it still happens. Some people are motivated by how well they were handled. But that happens mostly with adoptive children. If you adopted somewhere and you are loved fully, you say this is unnatural. Mimi si mtoto wao na amenipenda hivi. Na mimi nita-adopt watoto. That person can start children. So all they can support, they can go into charity, they can be very compassionate. So I say you wait until 26, but 20 to 25, when you leave high school, you leave college, use your time in libraries, YouTube, learning, Facebook, talking to mentors, to teachers. Don't be idle. Some people date because they were doing nothing. Somebody found them when they were idle. And when you hear that idle mind is the devil's workshop, it's a reality. Some devils, the devil will not come himself. He will send his boys and they will keep you busy. They will keep you busy and multiply you by factor 2. I have seen it. A person who has not found something that is absorbing, they have a lot of idle time. So what I encourage, whether it's after 30 or before 30, I'm one of the people married after 30 on purpose. Because I had a slogan. I came from a family where we did not have a financial backing. Tulikuwa tunajiita late crop. Juu. To call ourselves late crops because while others are being born at sea level, you're being born at negative 30 financially.
You have to come back first to 0.
Yes,
so that you can
thank
start.
you. So I'm climbing, but I'm not yet at 0. So I'm working to educate my own siblings, to buy food at home. Many of us have had to compensate for parents' failures before we start being parents ourselves.
Sure.
So that you can curse yourself if you're already in a negative, then you get a child. Then you marry too soon. Then you marry wrong. And you're already on a negative. Honestly, sometimes it's not about humility. The reason I was working hard was a funny reason. I was fleeing poverty. I was on a flight mode.
But that's a good motivation.
It's not.
It will keep you going.
But you see, it's not glamorous. It's not what you want to say.
But at least it kept you.
You know? No, sometimes you have to accept your situation.
Yeah.
Moses was a fugitive in the desert. He was running away from the law. He had killed someone. That's not glamorous, but it was reality. You know, I used to say that. For me, if I tried, anytime I saw guys seducing a girl akiingia box, nilikuwa najiuliza. Me, I used to think nikilala naye atapata mtoto. So nilikuwa najimagine, nikimuitisha na nipe tupate mtoto. What will I do? Oh my God. Myself, I can hardly buy my own socks. You know, some boys can't afford their own underwear and they're trying to... I have seen boys who can't calculate. I used to flee women because I knew. Hata anaweza ni like juu ya tini naongea. She can like funny things. My nose, you know, girls who are funny, liking funny things. I like his ears. Oh my God. You know, something that can't buy food. So I knew my life was, and I started with law, and we were anticipating that when you do law right, you'll be a millionaire. But my heart was not in law. I'm one of those people that my experiences in life shaped what I wanted out of life. I decided to want to help people plan their lives well. I felt that most of us were meandering. We were in law school and many people were lost. They have nothing a lawyer in them. Nothing. Just another lost fella. Mwalimu wa class, they're taking a selfie. They totally have no. They were brought here because of family legacy.
Yeah.
Wale wa baba usema hapa kwangu chagua kati ya law na medicine na engineering. You know? And this kid wanted journalism. This kid wanted DJ.
Yeah. Maybe it could have taken them far.
You know? This kid wanted to be a comedian. The dad is saying, you want to be a joker? Do you want jokers in my house? So, I saw people were so lost. I decided my friends are meandering. They waste their lives. And those kids who came from privileged families, where when I say privileged, sometimes it's a relative term. But I mean, they could get their fees paid relatively comfortably.
Yeah.
Some of us, we thank God for help. Help was a miracle. Without help, would not have gone through school. So, I decided I want to help people because I was looking for a person to help me plan my life. And I couldn't find one. I was feeling I'm not at home in this degree, but where do I belong? So you tell your parents, I don't want this. So what do you want? I don't know. They will take you to hospital.
Check whether you're
Yeah.
okay.
So, but it's a very legitimate thing not to want what you have and not to know what you want. Sitaki ndizi, unataka nini? Hata sijui lakini sio ndizi. That's okay. That's not crazy. That's not crazy. I really don't know what I want. I have to try, but it's not this one. You know, ladies are when we go to restaurants, they're very picky.
Yeah.
Ladies love cooking for themselves, most of them. So when they go to hotel, they're choosing at that level which they choose in their own kitchen. What else do you guys have? And kila mtu acha order, we are eating.
You're almost
Wacha nionje ya huyu hapana. You know, so I was motivated to help people stop losing time. So one thing that removed the deadline of 30 years was that for me, I was not looking at the number of years in my life. I was looking at the amount of life in the years. Because I saw people who started life early, but they were like Methuselah. They lived 967 years and they died. Nothing more said about it. While David lived on his 70 years and they're full of life. That guy did so much, conquered lands, did some naughty stuff, sang songs, wrote psalms. I don't know one psalm by Methuselah. Do you know any?
No.
And he lived so many years, more than 12 times miaka ya David.
Yeah.
So what I wanted was to make a difference. So nilisema, mimi sijali nitawa nikiwa tayari. I'm not checking the calendar, I'm checking my journey.
So what would you tell those who feel like because they are 30 plus, it's like they are late?
It's true that we are not social islands. We are not islands. We are social beings. You don't want to isolate yourself from other people's opinions. Sometimes you need it for purposes of feedback. Sometimes there's a place where people's feedback is important. But there are other places that people's feedback is toxic. It's lethal. It can hurry you to a bad decision. I want to ask people to, those of us who are past that and you're still there. Number one, start by insulating yourself. You need two things in life. You need a tender heart and a tough skin. A tender heart to be able to feel through life, to connect, to be able to shed a tear. Tears are a blessing. Tears are a blessing.
Even for men.
Yes.
But they really,
The day I meet a person who can't cry, I know that's an ICU case psychologically.
yeah. Ikiripuka.
That person has stopped feeling. They have switched off. They have become like a thing. They're just there, dry. You're asking them, what happened? Tuliachana. Alafu si hivyo tu.
It's like a stone.
And they're saying, we're married for how long? 20 years. Alafu siakashit. Alafu nini hivyo tu.
Kaisha.
And it was fresh thing. It's a fresh wound, but it's not bleeding. There could be internal bleeding. That's how doctors are afraid. Better a person who's bleeding, they can manage this one.
Yeah.
But the internal bleeding, because they can't see it. So the thing here is, one is, you need to have a tough skin against people's judgments, against people's pressure. The next thing is, please don't be passive. And I want to talk to women to stop sitting and waiting for man to find them.
I hope you're hearing, girls.
Men will not come finding you. Yesterday on my page, I told women to initiate conversation. When you see a guy you like, and he has not noticed you yet,
We'll check on that.
I'm not saying you approach him and tell him you love him. No.
Yeah.
Don't put your heart at stake. Don't put your feelings or at stake. Simply get his attention. That's all. You can charm him with body language. You can simply check on him. You can give him. I know guys who are married and the lady took a cake to the guy because I am a pata. The lady had only one piece of cake.
But you know, most of the girls, what they fear, maybe they try, even if it's that something small, and then the guy behaves funny. That is a put off. Isha put off.
I understand.
And it also leaves you in a position whereby you are like, okay, is it that I'm not good enough, Mama? Have I done a mistake? So there is that fear of, I better be here and not try and not be left feeling worse than I was. You see?
And I understand it. But I want to tell you that it's a very disastrous fear. Fear exaggerates the danger and it stops you from taking initiative. You need to be very careful. It's true when people don't respond, you feel bad. But I don't want you to peg on how he will respond. In fact, I don't want you to try that on one guy. I want it to be many.
How do you do that, guy?
Teach yourself to initiate conversations with guys. Others are married, you end up being friends. Others are nasty, you learn how nasty looks like.
Yeah.
Others are beautiful but handsome but empty. You learn how that looks like. Others are tall, dark, handsome, but inwardly they are mean, angry, and disappointed.
Yeah.
How would you learn if you did not enter their world? You see, if you're not initiating, if you're not getting friendship with guys, you're only learning the few who are coming to your life. You see, in marketing we say, if you sell something but you don't advertise it, it's like you're winking at a girl in the dark.
So you are marketing yourself?
You must be able to indirectly market yourself. Your mother told you avoid boys. Your character will sell you. Your personality will sell you. But your personality is not visible. You can have a very wonderful personality, but we can't see you.
Especially if you're an introvert.
Yes.
You really go there.
So, I want to ask you, if you're a woman and you're waiting, praying and waiting. Utafika 50.
Still waiting?
Yes. God alilete mana na hakulete kwa nyumba. Alidrop one day's journey away. And it was a miracle. Na unangoja mana aletwa hapo. Mana haikuletwa kwa nyumba. Unangoja mana iletwa, haitaletwa.
Azishuka kutoka juu.
And the few women who married from the church they are worshiping, they keep telling you, just wait. Even me, I waited. Journey hazifanani, safari hazifanani.
Your life is unique.
Yes. Let me tell you something. Sometimes your calling is so high. The kind of man you can rhyme with, ayuko kanisani kwako.
Sure.
You have to get social media. So the next thing I'm telling you, don't be passive. Now that I'm told you stop being waiting, what should you do then? One, dress charming. Turn on your charm. The only difference, out here single people cannot identify each other. We don't write here I'm single.
Yeah.
You can only identify by how you present yourself. Your general presentation. So you should dress, nguo za mama yako zinakuanga conservative, traditional. The general message how your mom dresses is keep your distance. Tuheshimiane. Your dressing should say, hey, what's up?
But nowadays, even the married ones, some of them, they dress that way.
And that's good, because I'll tell you, your charm is not just for bedroom. It's also for boardroom, for life. So I'm saying what you need at this point is to design all your dressing to stand out and bring out your charm. In fact, I always embarrass Christian girls because I always ask them, what is the sexiest thing about you? And they don't know because they don't like thinking like that. Praise the Lord.
Oh. I know most of them will be watching this.
Most girls have never thought of what is the strongest point about them. The Bible describes that Rachel, how she was beautiful eyes, and then Leah compare. You need to know what is best about you. And then subtly highlight the main point in your dressing. In a subtle way, underline the topic. Highlight the key thing. Dress in a manner that brings out the shape. If your beauty is about the shape, bring it out. If you're blessed with headlight, make them visible. If your legs are the most, you're not being cheap now. You're not even lowering your respect. You're being wise. Why did Esther take 9 months to be prepared before the contest? With the makeups. With 9 months. Dating is a contest. There were so many women and the king was to choose only one. The man you're looking for is also being looked for by other women.
Sure.
How will you compete in this world? Those women, because when I teach it, many of them come torches blazing and say, oh no, I want to be pursued myself. I'm not asking you pursue a man. I'm asking you turn on your charm and make yourself stand out and compel attention. Never fade into the background. If you're a social chameleon and you don't stand out, you'll be forgotten. You'll be overlooked. There are many women, they have a very wonderful character. But you see, character is not visible.
Actually, I know most of them. I know. And sometimes it's even funny. You find there are so many guys who are single, they are very okay, they are disciplined and everything, they are looking for women. And on the other side, you have a number of girls, they are very good, they are character, everything. But these people, I think, I don't know how they can meet. It's like men, they are on their own, women, they are on their own. Especially with these 30 plus.
Yes. You need to know that what is happening nowadays is we don't know where the social space is. People have tried, we have dating sites, we have Tinder, but now we have Christian dating sites. People are trying to make single people meet. There's a lot of effort being made, and I want to ask all of us to use every resource around you. I don't like hearing questions. Is it good to go to a dating site? Is it good? Go and learn. Go and learn.
But do we have many dating sites that are real?